Hi, today we are going to talk about early human species for our virtual museum. First, Australopithecus. Australopithecus share different traits with humans. Some like tool use, behavior, but they also have some differences like their cognitive abilities, their brain size, their skin. For example, they look like this. They used to look something like this. They look like chimpanzees. They had a lot of hair, all of this, and they were in Earth to survive. Here we can see some of their characteristics and the traits like tool use, balance of care, and a lot more of those similarities between Australopithecus and Homo sapiens sapiens, also known as modern humans. Hi, we're going to continue in our journey for our virtual museum talking about early human species. Now, Neanderthal. The Neanderthal appeared 400,000 years ago and disappeared 40,000 years ago. And they looked like this. This was their skull. This was like how they looked like. They look very different to how modern humans look today. And another difference was they were not living around all the planet. They were mostly located at Europe and Western Asia. Those regions were the ones where their fossils were found. Hi, we are going to keep talking about early human species. Now it's the turn of Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens are mainly described by having a big head. They had smaller body compared to modern humans, and that's also like part of evolution. The species start growing and growing more. But they also have similarities with modern humans. For example, they also have the two legs we humans have today, or the two arms. They both have one head. Some of the differences are that Homo sapiens had a bigger head than modern humans, but modern humans have more intelligence and are at the planet Earth living, not surviving, how Homo sapiens and other early human species. So now, I am going to show you a drawing of how they used to look like when they were alive and some more of their characteristics. Hi. We're still on the mission of talking about early human species for our virtual museum. Now is the Homo erectus turn. So, for example, Homo erectus, firstly, some of the differences, let's talk about them. Homo erectus have a larger brain, but the similarity could be that they both have like in modern body proportions. They will have like two arms by the same size. They had a very long existence. Another one of their traits and characteristics for the ones they are known is that they had a very good tool use and they innovated at that field. Some Homo erectus, we talk something about their brain size. Their brain size was much more bigger than modern humans' brain size. So, and now we are going to show you a draft of how they used to look like at their time. And here we have more of the information you will need to understand this early human species better. Now we're getting to the end of our journey talking about early human species. Now it's Homo habilis' turn. Now, we're going to give more details about how were Homo habilis. The Homo habilis left only at the continent of Africa from 2.4 million years ago to 1.4 million years ago. But in fact, humans appeared only 200,000 years ago. We are very far away from the time in the one they were here at our planet. So now we are going to talk about some of their differences. A difference is their brain size. they had a much more bigger brain size than modern humans today. Another difference is the height. For example, humans have a lot of different heights, variated. Some have got to 2 meters, like 6.5 foot, 7.5 foot. There has been a lot. But in fact, the Homo habilis were about from 3 to 4 feet tall, which was the maximum height. That is actually surprising for it to be different and for them to be compared to humans. Don't you think so? But now we're going to talk about some of their similarities. For example, both use tools and have a bit of cognitive abilities. Their cognitive abilities were different, but not the same. So now we are going to give you a look of the Homo habilis at those early times. Here you can see a draft of how they look like and their skull. It's a very different size. So now we're done with early species, but wait, this room is not done yet. Now, in the end of our journey talking about early human species, we are going to talk about the behaviors we inherited from our ancestors. Those behaviors we inherited are the following. First of all, tool use, building weapons, for example, or let's say a better, the building. Before our ancestors, they also have the behavior or the instinct to build houses, weapons, and so much other things. Vehicles, for example, canoes, boats. Another behavior we inherited but is not that seen right now, it's the trade. We inherited Homo sapiens humans. Let's say that before the money and the market, there was trade. You give me something, I give you something. Now, another behavior we inherited is parental care. One very seen right now. Parental care consists of the way early parents, take care of their kids, of their descendants. And right now, parents are doing a very similar job with their kids. Finally, the last behavior was tool use. Tool use is almost used for everything nowadays. To build cars, factories, houses. A lot of things are built by the use of tools nowadays. So now, thank you. We want to thank you for being in all of this journey talking about early humans here with us in this room. But now, we hope you have fun at the next one. See you.